From Daily Trust News Center, this is the News Hour.
Tonight on News Hour, residents of Zamfara urge military to take fight to bandits enclave to avoid collateral damage. Court upholds election of Abacha as Kano PDP governorship candidate. House of Representatives to probe mobile digital loans. Away from Nigeria, Al-Shabaab kills 2 policemen, 1 civilian in eastern Kenya. Hello and welcome to the News Hour on Trust Television. I am Ayuba Ilya. Thank you for joining. And now the details. Some residents of Zamfara State want security forces to take the fight against terrorism to bandits enclaves to eliminate the bandits and prevent the collateral damage that rocked Mutunji community, where scores of civilians were killed during NAF airstrikes. They made the call while reacting to the military airstrike against the bandits, which resulted in the killing of scores of innocent citizens, with several others injured at Mutunji community in Maru local government area of Zamfara State. The report.
Zamfara State residents have continued to react to the military airstrike against the bandits, where innocent citizens were caught in military fire. Some residents describe the development as unfortunate collateral damage that is inevitable in a war situation. They're calling on the security agencies to carry out proper coordination in its operations and take the ongoing war against banditry to the hideouts of the bandits, as their camps are not hidden to the people.
It's very sad incident, certainly, to the entire Zamfara people. So as you have attested to that by maybe, I think you're part and parcel of those who attended the broke of the governor, where he expressed his deep felt sympathy to what happened, certainly. This kind of casualty is quite unfortunate because it was not intended to kill maybe especially innocent citizens and the soldiers who are there to protect the lives and property of the communities. And it just happened as decreed by the Almighty Allah, so that the way the victims will go or they will fast. So it is quite unfortunate. And,
the residents also canvassed support for the victims of the incident to enable them cope with the difficult times they're currently faced with.
There is serious issues to be done here by making appropriate planning in attacking. Because you see, as I was told, or as I learned, the bandits were thrown into the area in hundreds. So the military who are invited to protect or to fight the bandits. Unfortunately, they had unfortunate incident by having maybe the bandits laid ambush with them, and when the military air force came with plane and trying to eliminate the bandits, and also the bomb maybe affected most of the military and also the civilians. So the only way, I think some of the ways to handle this issue is to ensure that there is proper coordination between the Land Army and the Air Force.
Governor Bello Muhammad of Zamfara State had, in a statewide broadcast, pledged support to the victims and their families to foot their medical bills.
Meanwhile, the Defense Headquarters says that the armed forces have in the last 3 weeks eliminated more than 60 terrorists and bandits in the northwest and north-central parts of the country. The Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Musa Damadami, made this known while giving updates of military operations on Thursday in Abuja. Damadami said that the troops also apprehended more than 50 terrorists and their collaborators, as well as rescued 27 kidnapped victims in various operations within the period. He said that the troops of Operation Hadarin Daji in the northwest had sustained operational activities through fighting patrols, raids and clearance operations in bandits' enclaves within Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara and Kaduna State. The defense spokesman said that the troops also apprehended a suspected gun runner who had been on the wanted list of troops at a filling station while refueling his car at Jama'ah area of the state. According to him, 5 AK-47 rifles, 4,000 rounds of 7.6 mm special ammo concealed in a sack, 4 magazines, tear gas canisters, as well as knives were recovered from him. Still on security matters, Minister of Police Affairs Maigari Dingyadi says that the police will secure the 2023 elections despite pockets of attacks on INEC facilities in some states of the Federation. According to him, the Buhari administration is equipping and transforming the nation's police force to meet 21st century demands.
The minister highlighted how the Buhari administration is making efforts in confronting the security challenges, though there were pockets of threats to the election with recorded attacks on INEC facilities. Dingyadi said the police is on top of the situation to guarantee the success of the exercise.
This election is going to be conducted in all parts of the country, and we want to assure Nigerians that it's going to be hitch-free. What you see out there by these coward criminals will not deter us from conducting these elections, and it's going to take place by the grace of God.
He said the administration is transforming the police by equipping them with required tools to face the daunting internal security challenges, just as it is deploying technology to enhance crime surveillance, tracking and response.
The Ministry of Police Affairs supervised the recruitment of 30,000 police personnel, being the third trenches of the 40 additional police constables approved by Mr. President.
Information Minister Lai Mohammed criticized the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar for saying he will open all borders in the country if elected, saying the statement is akin to reversing the gains recorded in food security and reduction in transborder crimes.
By that statement, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar has told the hundreds of thousands of Nigerians working in the various rice mills that have sprung up under this administration that their jobs are over. By this statement, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will shut down most, if not all, of our new fertilizer blending companies, with thousands of jobs going down the drain.
The scorecard series was conceived to showcase the achievements of the Buhari administration in various sectors from 2015 to date. Shapir Suleiman, Trust TV News, Abuja.
A federal high court sitting in Kano has affirmed Muhammad Sani Abacha as the Kano duly elected governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party. Justice A.M. Liman delivered the judgment virtually, nullifying the primary election that produced Sadiq Aminu Wali as Kano PDP governorship candidate and ordered INEC to expunge his name for Muhammad Sani Abacha. The court granted all the prayers of the plaintiff in the suit. The plaintiff in the suit is Muhammad Sani Abacha, while INEC Sadiq Aminu Wali and the PDP Wada Sagagi were listed as defendant. Now, Daily Trust Bureau Chief, Kano Region, Clement Oloyede, speaks on the issue.
It's difficult to say it has neutralized the internal crisis. As a matter of fact, it looks more like it has added more fire to the boiling crisis, because this is coming at a time when everyone thought Sadiq Wali is the bona fide candidate of the party. People thought the matter has been put to rest with INEC recognizing him and the National Party recognizing him. But this judgment has now returned the PDP back to the drawing board. The National Party, the National Headquarters had initially submitted Sadiq Wali's name. Now it had to go back to the drawing board and either to support Mohamed Abacha as a candidate or to appeal the judgment. Of course, there are a lot of parties involved in this judgment. The PDP, the National Headquarters being one, Sadiq Wali himself being another party, as well as one of the other candidates, Jafar Bello. So there are a lot of defendants in this case, or respondents as you may wish to call them, that could still challenge this judgment. Today's judgment is a calamity for the Atiku Abubakar presidential campaign, especially in Kano State, which means that now the Atiku campaign has to go back to the drawing board. Is it to appeal and put all their resources in the appeal against this judgment, or to look for a way to settle their grievances with the Shehu Wada Sagagi-led executives and start from the drawing board and start again to mend defenses and see how it is? Because as it means at the moment, PDP on its own has already been relegated, because of this internal crisis, it has been relegated to being the second opposition party behind NNPP in Kano.
In a similar vein, a federal high court in Abuja on Thursday dismissed a suit filed by an aspirant, Patience Key, challenging the emergence of Kola Abiola as the People's Redemption Party presidential candidate. Justice Ahmed Mohammed, in a judgment, held that the suit was statute barred and the court lacked jurisdiction to entertain it. Justice Mohammed, who said the suit was a pre-election matter, said that it ought to have been instituted within 14 days from the date of the occurrence of the course of action in compliance with Section 285(9) of the 1999 Constitution. The judge agreed with the defendants that though the PRP presidential election was conducted on June 5, the plaintiff filed the suit on June 28, when the case ought to have been instituted not later than June 19. Mohammed held that though Madam Key raised weighty allegations against the conduct of the poll, which she alleged was marred by irregularities, vote buying, non-compliance with Section 84 of the Electoral Act, and gross violations of the party's guidelines for the conduct of the primaries, he said that these could not take preeminence over failure to file the case within the time prescribed by law. The judge consequently dismissed the suit for lack of jurisdiction to hear it, having been statute barred. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Abdullahi Adamu, says that the party is ready to reclaim the governorship seat in Bauchi State after what he described as the party's mistaken loss in the 2019 polls. He stated this at the flag-off of the APC campaign rally held at the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Stadium, Bauchi. Adamu Imam has details.
The All Progressives Congress in Bauchi State kick-started the campaign with a promise to change the narratives in the leadership of the state by ensuring that citizens reap the dividends of democracy through people-oriented projects. It is painful that we lost elections in Bauchi. I believe women are in better position to tell you the pains that comes with a miscarriage. That is how we feel. We failed in the last election here, but we are coming back in a way that has never been seen before. Bauchi is for APC. Don't vote for any other party in the state. The governorship candidate of the APC, Sadiq Baba Abubakar, accused the present government in the state of owing workers' salaries and unrealistic empowerment for women and youth. We are soliciting for votes from the electorate to enable us change the present system of governance in Bauchi, by God's grace, because it has not favored the masses. Because the PDP refused to do what is right for the masses, we are here to change the narrative. We will do better if given the mandate. Some stakeholders of the party are hopeful that the APC emerges victorious in next year's general elections in Bauchi State.
This is the reality on ground. People of Bauchi have answered the call to massively vote for APC and for Baba Sadiq Abubakar. Among all the governorship candidates in the state, no one matches his competence. He has empowered a lot of youths, and even before he became a candidate, he has done a lot for women also.
Leaders of the party within the state all graced the occasion, apart from the Minister of Education Adamu and the immediate past Governor Muhammad Abdullahi Abubakar. Adamu Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Staying with political matters, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike says he will make his preferred presidential candidate known in January 2023. The governor, who stated this on Thursday, said he will also campaign for his adopted candidate nationwide. Following the PDP presidential primary in May, where he lost out, Wike has been at loggerheads with Atiku Abubakar over the chairmanship of Iyorchia Ayu. Last month, Wike promised logistic support for the campaigns of the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, and his New Nigeria People's Party counterpart, Rabiu Kwankwaso. Wike has also, of late, hobnobbed with APC stalwarts like Adams Oshiomhole and Governors Dave Umahi of Ebonyi State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, and Ben Ayade of Cross River. While Wike and his allies have not been seen to campaign for Atiku, it is not clear whether they will support Obi, Kwankwaso, or APC's Bola Tinubu in the contest for Aso Rock's top job.
From January next year, I will campaign to my people whom they will vote for. I will campaign to my people whom they will vote for. So all of you who have been in suspects, who have been saying all kinds of things, abusing me, wait. January has come. January has come. Not only will I tell them where they will vote, I will move from state to state and why they should vote for the people I think they should vote for. Nothing will happen. So all of you appearing on television, abusing me, don't waste your saliva again. January is a come. January is a come. So don't waste your saliva. Don't be going on whatever you call your platform. All those of you who are telling Nigerians you used to have 40 shoes, you have to have 50 wristwatches. Time has come to convert those shoes and wristwatches to vote. Not be so. Not be so. It's not to be on the podium.
The House of Representatives on Thursday unveiled plans to investigate alleged sharp practices leveled against operators of unregulated online fintech lending companies and abuse of mobile digital loan applications in Nigeria. The resolution was passed sequel to the adoption of a motion on a matter of urgent public importance sponsored by Ahmed Satomi, who solicited intervention from the House. In his lead debate, the lawmaker expressed concern over the proliferation of online loan apps across Nigeria by some fraudulent profiteers who coerce low-income earners to borrow and get trapped in the web of sham loan apps that end up swindling borrowers. The House thereafter mandated the Joint Committees on Banking and Currency, Financial Crimes and Telecommunications to investigate the alleged sharp practices and abuses by fintech and online mobile digital loan apps and companies in Nigeria and report within 4 weeks.
The registration status of the loan apps in Nigeria from the Corporate Affairs Commission shows that funding directors of such apps companies were foreign nationals without the required license to operate the volume of financial transactions and illegally operating in the country. Worried about the operation of some of Cash with hosted operating accounts under the name of supercar individuals, certain commercial banks in Nigeria were carrying out these activities of the loan. Also worried that such account holders did not have the required license to operate the money lender, which led to the commercial banks to close the first account. Again worried that many of such online loan apps in Nigeria disbursing loans to customers with no collateral, and defaulters are always sending messages.
The proposed passage of the 2023 budget suffered a setback on Thursday as both chambers of the National Assembly failed to consider the report of its committees on appropriation due to irregularities on the part of the executive. The Senate also suspended the consideration of the Finance Bill 2023 and the 2022 supplementary budget to enable its committees to conclude work on the legislation. President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, disclosed these developments at the start of plenary. He said the budget sent to the National Assembly was riddled with grey areas which hindered the passage. Senator Lawan thereafter adjourned plenary till Wednesday, 28th of December, with a charge to relevant ministries, departments and agencies to make themselves available when invited by relevant committees.
The reason for this is because the appropriation bill came to the National Assembly with some problems. And when our committees on appropriation in the Senate and House started to reconcile the figures of what we have done and what was presented, the problems became very obvious and they were not easy to deal with. Let me advise the executive. The bills that have come to us, the Ways and Means, the supplementary appropriation, the finance bill, whoever is invited to come and explain, give information or any details for the National Assembly to understand must do so, because it's not our work alone.
In the meantime, the Central Bank of Nigeria says since the launching of the cashless policy in 2012, Nigeria has made remarkable progress at the global financial stage. The Deputy Governor's Financial System Stability, Aisha Ahmed, made the explanation while answering questions from members of the House of Representatives. The report.
According to Ahmed, the policy introduced on the 5th of December 2022 was in continuation of the cashless policy as the bank strives to ensure inclusion of more Nigerians in formal financial transactions in view of the reduced cost of processing. The launch began in Lagos State as the pilot and later extended to Abia, Anambra, Kano, Ogun and Rivers States. The CBN governor, who was represented by his deputy in charge of financial system stability, Aisha Ahmed, gave an overview of the cashless policies. She said the directorate of the CBN is charged with the mandate to promote a safe and sound financial system and to ensure a credible and efficient payment system.
Our policy pronouncement on December 5 was a continuation of the cashless policy that we already started with 10 years ago. And it was in recognition of the changes, the positive changes that have happened in the financial system and in the payment system since cashless was first launched.
Lawmakers sought for further clarification on the cashless policy following agitations from their constituents as well as petitions against the CBN.
We appreciate the courage of the present CBN governor to do this now, but this cannot be forever. We are spending hard-earned money to print the naira. We cannot keep printing the naira. So as much as we have doubled down on this policy right now, we want you to tell us categorically for how long will this be. Is it going to be for 3 months, 6 months, or you're going to be doing regional like you started then? Because the way to go is cashless.
Mr. Speaker, last 3 weeks we went to Binungwari. There was no electricity, there was no telecom sector. And that's the next sector to make this policy successful. The banking sector, because of the infrastructure and the employees, the power sector, and the telecom sector. Mr. Speaker, I think the CBN should be retrospective, should think inward, should think out of the box if truly we want this to be successful, so they should slow down.
I know that CBN is aware that there are over 1.4 million POS agents in Nigeria. And this new policy will render them jobless. And that is a major economic impact on the nation. Was this given consideration when this policy was decided?
The CBN Deputy Governor addressed issues raised by some of the lawmakers.
The citizens citizens are not actually disenfranchised. They have options for their transactions, and they are indeed using those options today. Why do I say so? From the data that we see, in terms of the size of transactions happening in agent locations, people in the hinterland are actually taking advantage of this.
Speaker Femi Gbajabiamila thereafter urged the CBN to be mindful of constitutional provisions of interacting with the legislature before implementing policy decisions, pointing to the fact that the lawmakers are representatives of the people and are closest to Nigerians at the grassroots. For now, the CBN has reviewed to revise the bank's cash withdrawal limits policy, which it attributed to the feedback it got from stakeholders. The House has adjourned its plenary to next week Wednesday to consider the 2023 budget.
Now, review of weekly cash withdrawal limits by the Central Bank of Nigeria to 500,000 naira for individuals and 5 million naira for corporate bodies has elicited reactions from point-of-sale operators in Abuja. The operators said that it is a huge relief for some of them, as the previous limit, if implemented, will have pushed them out of business.
Actually, I feel so happy about it because when it was 100,000, when they said the limit is 100,000, I felt so bad about it because it really affect my business and even some other bills payments, like maybe when you go to a hospital to maybe pay for a treatment and maybe they said it's more than 100,000 naira for the patient now, and you have just what is it called? You have the limit of 100,000 naira in a week, then a day is 20,000 naira, and you need cash of more than 100,000 naira to maybe treat a patient. So what will you do? Must you face the challenge of what is it called, the charges that CBN said you have to pay when you exceed the limit of the transaction? No. So it's very, very bad when they said the limit of our transaction per day is 20,000 naira. But I'm happy now since they said they have increased it to 500,000 in a week. So I'm very, very happy about it.
First of all, when it was 100,000, when they put the limit to 100,000, business was kind of down because the place I came, the company I'm working for, we have other partners, and sometimes those partners, they want to do some transfers to their, one of the partners we have is Kenan. They used to collect, how would I call it, contribution from people. So when they want to pay back, they will need plenty cash. So they need to withdraw bigger amount. And when it was 100, I couldn't withdraw that amount because of the limit they put. So as at then, my income daily was depreciating. But now that they have increased the limit, is nice.
Yeah, it's good because some people that are doing POS can be able to withdraw more than what they can withdraw the amount that they want to use and do their POS business. And all these people that are doing business, all these office people that need cash in big amount, they can have access to withdraw much like that. But if you are withdrawing 100,000 or this thing, it won't be okay. People will not be happy about it. Yeah, I felt good because you can be able to withdraw more than 100 because most times it's not only 100,000 that we need for something. We need more than 200,000, 500,000, and almost 1 million. So if they are limiting us to withdraw only 100,000, it won't be enough, and we won't like it. So we are supposed to, if they can even make it more than 500,000, it will be good.
You're watching the news hour on Trust Television. Coming up shortly, we'll take a look at how to secure oil-producing community. Details of this and more after the break.
Nigerians, elections are here again. Let us shun violence. Let us play the game according to the rules. Do not be a thug. Say no to violence. Let's rise and defeat violence, crime, and sabotage against the peace of our nation. Nigeria is the only country we have. We must do everything to keep it united. We must avoid any act that promotes hate and disintegration. Say no to separatist movement, terrorism, fake news, hate speech, religious bigotry, and any act that tends to divide us as a nation. Watch out for strange gatherings and suspicious movements. Restrict access to sensitive documents and data, the disclosure of which may damage national security. Educate your staff and family, particularly on measures to safeguard information and report security breaches. Apply relevant legal security guidelines to protect yourself and your neighbors. Due to misinformation and wrong choices, some idle persons resort to vices in their greed to get rich quick. They resort to kidnapping, killings for rituals, and other heinous crimes. Avoid wrong use of the social media. Before you broadcast that false message, think twice. Ask whether it will promote peace or violence. For safety at home, still be security conscious. Educate your household on safety tips. Report all suspicious movements and persons to the security agencies nearest to you. Be a good citizen. Be patriotic. To pass security information, please call 0813-222-2105, 0915-339-1309, 0908-837-3514, or send a mail to dsspr@dss.gov.ng. This message is from the Department of State Services, DSS.
TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
This is the News Hour on Trust Television. Here's a look at the top stories again. Residents of Zamfara urge military to take fight to bandits enclave to avoid collateral damage. Court upholds election of Abacha as Kano PDP governorship candidate. Moving on now, following Wednesday's demolition of Durumi internally displaced persons camps by the Federal Capital Territory Administration, FCTA, occupants say that they are not criminals contrary to reasons advanced for the exercise. FCTA said that the exercise is part of a strategy to address security challenges in the nation's capital. Noel Samson gets the reactions of the victims who plead with the government to reconsider their plight.
Durumi's IDP camp was opened in 2014 after an attack on the villages in the northeast by a terrorist group called Boko Haram. The camp accommodates nearly 2,000 people displaced by the insurgents.
If under a democratic dispensation that we have, and we are happy it is thriving, you understand, a citizen of Nigeria can wake up one morning, you understand what I mean, then he finds himself deprived of shelter. You understand what I mean? Not minding, you see women and children. If they attribute it to rates of crime, crime is all over, it's a global issue. The insurgency itself is an act of criminality, it's gangsterism. They are making money out of the Boko Haram and other insurgencies.
Victims of demolition expressed displeasure concerning demolition, dismissing the reasons given for the demolition.
The main word coming out from the security services and government
say that there are drugs and criminals around the society. If there is any criminal in the society, to prove that yes, there is criminal in the society, if you arrest a criminal, you show to the newscasters to display that yes, this is where this place is from.
I know say this thing happen everywhere. As I did this thing happen, this thing not be my choice that carry me come here and be IDP person. Now Boko Haram for sure come here. Listen, my choice. I can come here because Abuja no be for poor person in the Abuja.
So our pleading to government, let the government look after after women in the IDPs and the children. You can come, if you come to the IDPs now, you can see children and women are lying down on the road like this, on ground like this. The batch away with the manager, now they come they demolish. And if we ask them, why are you demolishing our we are IDPs? We are IDPs from 3 states. We are here, Adamawa, Borno, Yobe. We run for our life. We come to Abuja again. They say they are demolition us. Why will we go?
They appeal to the government to come to their aid to provide a fitting camp for them if they don't want them at the city center, where they are forced to live, not by choice. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
13 suspected criminals involved in armed robbery in Katsina have been arrested by police operatives. While parading the suspects, police command in the state renewed its commitment to rid the state of crime and criminality. Abdullahi Amadi completes the story.
Among the suspects are members of a notorious gang of armed robbers who specialized in attacking residents and shop owners in the ancient city of Katsina. The suspected armed robbers were arrested when they attacked one Aminu Alake at his residence in Kofar Guga quarters in Katsina metropolis.
In the course of the investigation, suspects confessed to have attacked one Aminu Alake, male of Kofar Guga quarters, at his residence with dangerous weapons. These are the weapons, you can see them. Can you see this? This is one item among the other items.
The police is also investigating a suspected member of armed robbery and car snatching syndicate Aminu Lawal alias Entertainment. The suspect, who is an ex-convict, was arrested and confessed to belong to the syndicate responsible for various robbery and car snatching operations in Katsina State. Also in the custody of the police command is one Isa Mohammed, suspected to be a notorious armed robber and an ex-convict arrested in possession of a stolen motorcycle.
2 long daggers, 1 scissor, a scissors, 3 big flashlights, 2 max caps, and other breaking implements.
Similarly, the police is investigating one Jamil Ibrahim, a suspected collaborator and supplier to bandits, in possession of 190 bottles of pentazocine injections. Also arrested are notorious drugs and substances dealers who specialized in trans-Sahara drugs trafficking, in possession of large number of drugs and dried leaves suspected to be cannabis sativa. Yes, we attacked Aminu Alake at his residence and robbed him of his motorcycle, power generating set, and other valuables. These sacks containing operational implements are ours. We have daggers, hacksaws, pinch bars, etc. Concerned about the involvement of children into criminal activities, the police command is warning parents to be worried about the company their children keep, saying all the suspects are at the range of 18 to 25 years of age. Abdullahi Ismail Amadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Commercial drivers flying Kaduna-Zaria Expressway have debunked speculations of an armed robbery attack along the way. Recall that there was a trending report on the social media that some armed robbers have blocked the road and caused a gridlock with over 100 vehicles between Wednesday night to Thursday morning. But speaking to Trust TV in Zaria, Abdulaziz Abubakar, a commercial bus driver who shuttles between Zaria to Kaduna on daily basis, said that he has driven past the road since Wednesday evening but had not witnessed any incident. He said that there are other drivers who drove to Zaria from Kaduna late in the night who did not also report any incident of attack on the road.
Actually, yesterday I was on my way in that very time that you are talking about, coming back from Kaduna, but I can't say I have seen anything related to that. Because actually I moved through the way and the way was very clear and it was peaceful. So actually I think that should be a rumor, and which can say I can debunk the rumor because I have already have an experience of that road yesterday's night.
Well, to be candid, to my own knowledge, I don't see anything like that. There is no number. Drivers are really going to Kaduna and coming back. There is no any complaint of such issues. In fact.
The Kwara State Police Command has paraded 5 members of 2 different gangs of kidnappers in the state. While parading the suspected criminals, the State Commissioner of Police, Paul Odama, said that the command is on the trail of fleeing suspects as well as their arms and money collected from victims. The police boss said that the suspects had confessed to have killed one Inspector Shegun Oyegbulu of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps attached to Ekiti State Command. The command also said that the suspected kidnappers had been terrorizing Eruku town in the Ekiti local government area, Oroago town in the Ifelodu local government area, and Okeode Shari Road in the same Ifelodu local government area in Kwara State, as well as in Ekiti and Kogi State.
And one other, while riding a motorcycle on their way from Ekpe in Kogi State, were accosted at Koro village close to Eruku town by men numbering about 6 who emerged from the bush armed with guns and other dangerous weapons. The hoodlums opened fire on them and they sustained gunshot injuries. They however escaped the attack and ran to anti-kidnapping team close by at Eruku town.
Students of tertiary institutions in Kano say that 2023 election will no longer be business as usual as they meet to assess candidates' agenda for better education. Trust TV correspondent Idris Jibrin reports that the students threatened to vote out any candidate who has no provision for quality education in his blueprint.
Over the years, the problem with Nigeria's education system at all levels has been attributed to government inability to adequately maintain the sector. The just suspended industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, inadequate or complete lack of infrastructures are some of the challenges believed to have left the sector wallowing in murky waters.
The government must be honest with education if at all they are serious about helping the situation. There are things that are responsibilities of the parents. There are things that are responsibilities of the government.
With the 2023 general elections around the corner, students from tertiary institutions in Kano believes that it's time to take a stand that will guarantee the safety and security of their future by signing up for a candidate they believe will solve the problem of the nation's education system.
The education system is collapsing. We spend 8 months with strike, ASU strike, every day from ASU FG crisis to lack of equipment in the university. Even the standard of the education in Nigeria is collapsing, and we as the bedrock, the student, we are the bedrock.
Although they hail in anticipation of a brighter future, the students' demand for the sign-up candidate are clear. Total transformation of Nigeria's education sector, active participation of young politicians and students in nation building will no longer be negotiable.
What we're doing is to openly do the declaration
and to openly let the world know that almost every sector of the society is making the signing off of Atiku and Okoa and the endorsement.
Overwhelmed by the students' resolve to sign up for their candidate, chieftains of the PDP in Kano confirmed their party's plan for the education sector if elected come 2023 elections.
The students have simply realized that they need to become stakeholders and they need to look out for a presidential candidate that will serve their purpose, eliminate their hardship, revamp the educational sector, and make them important stakeholders. And for that reason and many more, the students have decided to organize this program to sign up for Atiku, to volunteer to work for Atiku's victory.
With less than 3 months to the polls, these students assured that their struggle in signing up for a better candidate for better education in Nigeria is endless and will tour all the 36 states of the Federation, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Idris Jubrin, Trust TV News, Kano.
The House of Representatives has begun moves to criminalize the practice of female genital mutilation with the proposal of a 5-year jail term for offenders. A bill to that effect scaled through the second reading at the lower chamber on Wednesday. The bill, which is sponsored by Rep. Ganiu Johnson, is intended to amend the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015 to increase the penalty for the offense of female genital mutilation. The bill proposed an imprisonment term of 5 years or a fine not exceeding 1 million naira for any person who performs female genital mutilation or engages another to carry out such acts. According to the lawmaker, an amendment of the said Section 6 will go a long way in deterring persons from engaging in unwholesome practice of female genital mutilation. Oil drilling activities in Kolmani must not be allowed to be a source of conflict so that Nigerian people will reap the benefit of the oil resources in the nation. Geosystem information and security experts said this in an interview with Adamu Imam in Bauchi. The report.
Kolmani Oil Well has become a center of attraction since the official launch of oil drilling activities. There has been an argument that the area is exclusively in Gombe and not Bauchi State. Experts, however, said that the discovery of oil in the Benue Trough should not be a source of conflict among the host community of Kolmani area within the two northeastern states, Bauchi and Gombe. Muhammad Shehu Kardam of the Department of Geoinformation System and Abdullahi Yalwa of Crime and Control Department at the Bauchi State Polytechnic said the government should be proactive in securing the Kolmani area to avoid a Niger Delta type scenario.
Are we really ready to explore those bounties given to us by God Almighty Allah? No, I will say no. Why? Because our politicians are interested in the subvention they normally receive monthly in Abuja, which when you look at it now, is taking the state nowhere. There are states that cannot even survive without this.
You know, the northern Nigeria is considered for a long period of time as a liability region compared to other parts, especially the oil-producing states. And with this advancement, it means that North is about to emancipate itself, being the food-producing part of the country, now complementing with the discovery of oil and other natural resources that will come along with the oil discovery, and of course the industrial boost which will naturally spring as a result of this activity.
They said the host communities must be united for future generations to fully benefit from the endowment through developmental strides.
Now with the recent development of oil in Bauchi and Gombe State, I want to tell you that there are more other mineral resources that are there in abundance, untapped, that can lead our people to answer their need in the Committee of Nations, in fact across the globe, where people even like to come and tap us.
If you look at the situation currently, we are talking of gas plant, we are talking of electricity generating plant, also about many megawatts. We are talking about fertilizer plant, and naturally so many other companies will come due to availability of energy and resources such as the electricity, such as the fertilizer and many other things, and productions of so many things.
Kolmani oil drilling, they said, will be a stepping stone in developing the northeastern region that has suffered from a decade of insurgency.
Time now for us to take a quick break. The news continues shortly. This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story. Welcome back from that break. Now, away from Nigeria, Al-Shabaab fighters have attacked a police vehicle in eastern Kenya, killing 2 officers and 1 civilian. According to a police statement on Wednesday, the truck was traveling from Hali Lapset camp to Garissa town, about 120 kilometers from the Somali border, when it hit an explosive device. Police said that the fighters then fired a rocket-propelled grenade at the vehicle and engaged in a heavy firefight, which killed the victims. Al-Shabaab's radio Andalus said in a broadcast that their gunmen killed 2 Kenyan security force members and injured several others in the attack. The Al-Qaeda-linked group continues to make cross-border raids to pressure Kenya into withdrawing its forces from the African Union-mandated peacekeeping force in Somalia. Gambian authorities have foiled a military coup attempt and arrested 4 soldiers plotting to overthrow President Adama Barrow's administration. In a statement, the Gambian military said it is in pursuit of 3 other alleged accomplices while investigations are continuing. There were no details on whether the coup attempt was linked to the previous government. Coup attempts were not uncommon in the Gambia, a tiny West African country of 2.5 million, almost entirely surrounded by Senegal, which is still reeling from more than 2 decades under former President Yahya Jammeh, marked by authoritarianism and alleged abuses. Jammeh himself seized power in a coup in 1994 and foiled several attempts to overthrow him before he lost an election in late 2016 to Barrow. Comoros is set to be the first island state to take up the African Union chair next after the Kenyan President William Ruto withdrew from the race. Comoros President Azali Assoumani and Ruto have been separately lobbying for the top post, as the AU chair position is zoned to the East African community. The recently ended United States-African Leaders Summit was the grandest stage for the 2 leaders to individually meet their regional counterparts. But while in the U.S., Ruto revealed that he would be withdrawing from the race, giving Comoros a clear chance. In a statement, government communications in Comoros thanked Ruto for his decision. Comoros added that the decision by Kenya was noble and showed that the country was a leader in finding peaceful solutions to the problems on the continent, particularly in East Africa. Time now for us to take a look at sports updates as presented by Adeni Ajishafe.
Ex-international Benedict Akpogbu has urged Nigerian football stakeholders to forget past glories and look ahead. The 2002 FIFA World Cup participant advised that successes recorded in the past should be left behind to enable administrators focus on what is ahead in terms of football development. Akpogbu called on football-loving Nigerians to channel their energies towards supporting the growth of Nigerian football. And still on football, the Nigerian Women's Football League NWFL Match Day 4 recorded 3 away victories in matches across 6 centers that marked the final fixtures of 2022 on Wednesday. Title holders Bayelsa Queens returned to winning ways with a 2-0 away win over Royal Queens in Warri to bounce back from last week's goalless home draw with Heartland Queens. Forza strike from Mary Adiremi and Florence Sebastian's second-half effort handed the Prosperity Girls the second win of the season from opening 3 league outings. In Uyo, FC Robo Queens finally earned their first win of the season after 3 disappointing games without a win. The Lagos Landladies had to survive a comeback from the visitors to secure a 3-2 win over Ibom Angels. A brace from Folashade Jamilusi coupled with a goal by Oladipo Shukrat gave Emmanuel Osahon's side a 3-goal lead with 2 goals from Adekemi Akiton and Imo Jones for the Uyo-based team. In Lokoja, Abia Angels deny Confluent Queens their first win of the season as they forced the Kogi ladies to a 1-1 draw at Kogi Confluent Stadium. Mary Okpara had given Confluence Queens the lead in the 24th minute before Precious Obasi's 45th minute equalizer saw both sides share the spoil. Ghana's Joanita Agweze's 29-minute goal was enough to earn a 1-0 victory for Rivers Angels against Niger Ratels FC. Delta Queens earned its 3rd straight of the season after 3 league games with a 2-1 victory over Osun Babes in Oshogbo. Effium Ekpenyong and Chinaza Ago scored for the visitors, while Eberechuku Oleka converted a goal for Osun Babes. Edo Queens trashed Adamawa Queens 4-0 as the Benin City-based side trashed Adamawa Queens 4-0 with Suliat Abidin Essien with a brace and Glory Osage scoring. That's Sport News. I am Adeni Ajishafe.
And with that, we wrap up the news hour for tonight. You can watch more via all our social media platforms and also watch us live on YouTube. I am Ayuba Ile. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.